last June's recruiting blitz and a lack of work-life balance in today's day and age in college football, NIL, transfer portal, so on and so forth, nearly led one of the game's greats out of the sport. Kirby Smart admitted at THSCA conference that he almost left the game because of everything that's going on. Now, he's made it clear today at SEC Media Days that was a little bit overblown. But I do think, Carl, this draws the engaging conversation of the struggle of a work-life balance being found for today's college coaches.
Well, there is no balance. There is no work-life balance if you want to be good. Guys have to go all in. Recruiting is a 365 thing. Managing your roster is a 365-day thing. If you talk now about the addition of the transfer portal and the recruiting that takes place with that, you talk about having to manage NIL, there's really no way for you to have any type of balance. And with the money that guys are getting paid, like Kirby Smart, what do they have to do? I think that during the time that COVID went on, what happened for a lot of guys is that was the first time many coaches were around their families for an extended period of time. And so it can start to mess with your head a little bit as you reconnect with your family, and then you were forced to go back to work and go right back into recruiting. And that whole period was crazy in itself. But I think that Kirby Smart is a guy, he's a football lifer. He knows about burning the oil on both ends. He worked for Coach Saban at Alabama for years. And so I can definitely see his thought process on that. But there is no work-life balance for guys that are trying to win at the top level like he is.
Now, this is a 365-day-a-year job, 24/7 for these top-level programs. Even the programs that aren't the top programs have to keep up, or they're going to get left behind. And with kind of like what Carl said with the transfer portal, it's a totally different era. So I think that's one of the reasons the NCAA is thinking about passing a rule with unlimited coaches and unlimited recruiting staffs, because that can take a lot of pressure off the coaches where the coaches can coach and the recruiting people can manage the recruiting part of the job. But I think, Kirby Smart at a place like Georgia, every single recruit in the country, or someone who thinks they're a recruit, wants to go visit Georgia. They want to go visit the top facilities. They want to meet Coach Smart. They want to see the weight room and what it's like. So, it is a constant job that never ends and never sleeps. I can see how these coaches get burned out, but these guys are coaches for a reason. They paid their dues to get to this level. A lot of these coaches have slept in their cars and slept on the offices and worked their way up from high school. So they've got a lot of these guys have young families that they have to balance a little bit with their coaching lifestyle, and it's very difficult to do. So I expect Kirby Smart to be at Georgia for a long time. I think he was probably over exaggerating a little bit, but when COVID hit, that was a real deal for these coaches, because they went from hosting a lot of Zoom calls to hosting a couple of hundred kids basically every day at their facility for the times that they were able to come on campus.
It's interesting because I remember just right after winning the NCAA championship, Kirby Smart is in an interview saying he's worried about the direction of the game. And then shortly after that, Georgia loses offensive line coach Matt Luke to retirement because he said he wanted to simply spend time with his family. Interesting, potentially, the conversations going behind closed doors. We talk about that Georgia program, but I'm glad personally that Kirby Smart is still with us in college football today. And like you mentioned, Blake, he should be there for a very long time. We just need to address some of these things going on